Good day, everybody. Today I'm going to be showing you how to play the second edition version of the card game DOS. Now, this version does have some significant changes from the original edition. They've taken out a card, they've added a new card, and they've also changed up the rules some. So, let's go ahead and go over it. In the beginning, you're going to go ahead and deal out 7 cards to each player, and then you're going to go ahead and take the top 2 cards from the deck and lay them down here. So you're going to have 2 discard piles. Now, if it turns out that one of the cards you end up drawing is a special card, like a draw 2 or whatever, you'll just simply draw another card until you end up with another number card, like so. Now, there's several different things that you can do in this game with your cards. The first thing you can do is you can go ahead and match a card by number. There's 4 different colors. There's red, yellow, green, and blue. So one thing I can do is I could just simply match the number, like so. Or what I can do is I can match the color. So I could play a card like this. It matches the color. I can play up to 2 cards in this game, and there's a few ways that I can do that. So, for example, I could play a red 7 over here, and if I had another green card, for the example, I could play a green 9, so I could do it that way. Another thing I can do is I could play 2 cards on top of one discard pile. They just simply have to equal the number that I'm laying it down on, and they have to be the same color. So, for example, if I had a green 6 and a green 1, they're the same color, I can go ahead and lay it down on the 7 in this case like that, because they equal 7. Now, it does not have to match the color of the discard, it just has to equal the same number. In the game, you've got special cards that you can use. You have the draw 2. If you play a draw 2, the next player is going to have to draw 2 cards. You have the skip card. If someone plays this, the next player in turn is going to get skipped. You have the reverse card. If this card gets played, the direction of play is going to change. In the beginning, it's going to go to the player's left. In this case, it'll swap it over, and then it'll go to the player's right, and so on. Another thing with these special cards is that you can stack them in a way. So one thing I could do is I happen to have a draw 2 over here and a reverse card. The next player would have to draw 2 cards, and then the direction would go ahead and get reversed. You also have 2 wild cards that you're going to be able to use in this game. You have the Wild 2 card. Now, there's a couple of things you can do with this card. The first thing you do is you can simply just play it on another Wild 2, like so. The other thing you can do is you can go ahead and use this card combined with another card to match one of the numbers on the discard pile. So an example would be this. I have a 2 and a 1. I can make the 2 yellow in this case, and so I'll go ahead and play both the cards over here like so. The last special card is going to be this one. This is a Wild Play 2 card. If I end up playing this card, the next player is going to have to play 2 cards from his hand. If he is unable to do so, he's going to have to draw 2 cards. If it turns out that you can't play a card, you're simply just going to draw a card here from the deck. If you can play it, you can do so. If not, you'll just put it back into your hand. You can also draw in place of playing a card. So the game's going to go on. If someone ends up with just 2 cards in their hand like this, they have to yell out DOS. If they don't yell out DOS, then they're going to have to draw 2 cards if somebody catches them. Otherwise, the game is going to keep going on until one player ends up running out of cards. Players will then tally up their scores. The player that went out will receive these points. The cards are valued as follows. Any number cards are 1, and then 3 through 10 are going to be a face value. Any action card will be 20 points. That's the skip, reverse, and the draw 2. Any wild card, which is the Wild DOS and the Wild Play 2 card, is going to be 50 points. You'll keep a running tally from hand to hand, and when one player reaches 500 points, they will be the winner. And that, folks, is how you play the card game DOS.